Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to whatever this is called. This is going to be a bit of a different video because I'm doing a different thing. I'm doing something else. So basically, what I am doing is something cool with wood. So a few days ago, and by a few days I mean about a week, I made this. Just a simple crate style box. I sanded it, I stained it, I made it, look at all the cool little details on it. I made this by hand. I bought the wood by hand. I put the stuff in by hand using tools. It's a cool little box, right? So I was talking with one of my friends and I was like, yo, I made a box. And they were like, yo, I want a box. So I was like, yo, come make a box. Long story short, they're really busy and they can't make the box. So I asked them, I was like, yo, you want me to make the box? And they were like, yo, can you make the box? So I was like, yeah. Content. So here we are. So I have leftover wood from when I made that, so I'm just gonna make that again. But how they wanted it. What did they want for this box? Let me tell you. So they said they wanted a bit smaller. They didn't give me exact dimensions, but what are you gonna do? So they were like, yo, just a little bit smaller. I was like, cool. And I also asked them what color they wanted because they were talking about painting it. So I was like, yeah, I have paint, I can paint it. And they were like, no, make it like this. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna make a smaller box and stain it. Which then brings me to the question, what is this going to look like? So in my head, I pictured the same thing, just a crate that's a little bit smaller, same look. But I thought about it some more, and if it is going to be a smaller box, maybe they could actually use it for something rather than just having a pencil box with a bunch of holes in it. So that's what I'm going to make. I'm going to make a small little box to hold like pencils, pens, erasers, whatever you want. And this is what I'm going to do that with. So I have a pencil, draw things on. All of these are scrap pieces from when I made that one. I didn't stain it beforehand. You can take with that what you will. There's benefits and there's cons, but I'm not going to get into that right now. If you guys are interested in that video, let me know and I'll make a short about it. But anyway, here we are. So I have this. This is about 6 inches, and I was thinking about cutting it about 6 inches wide, make it a square. Basically, a half-scaled version of that, because that's 1 foot by 1 foot, so having it 6 by 6 would literally be half the size of that. Well, more like a quarter, but I'm not going to get into that right now. So I have 2 different sizes because of the way that I made that. So I have this, like almost 6-inch one, and this about 6.5. So I'm going to use a combination of these to make the box. So this isn't going to be like a proper tutorial, mainly because this is like the first time I'm making a long form video kind of like this. But if you guys are interested in like a full proper tutorial, I still have supplies, so I'll probably just make another one. Like I'm already planning on making more because I'm getting really into woodworking lately. But if you guys are interested in an actual tutorial, let me know. To all the 5 people watching this. So yeah, this is going to be a fun project. We're going to see where this is going to go. It is currently 8:30 at night on a Sunday. I have school tomorrow and I have a bunch of homework. But instead I'm doing this because I actually want to do this. So let's get into it. I filmed that last part half an hour ago. It is now 9:12. But let me walk you through what we're gonna do here. So this is what I'm gonna be working with. We got a cutoff in that. We got a cutoff of MDF. We got some cutoffs of some whitewood. This is the dimensions for the whitewood that I'm using. This is the original dimensions of the MDF. I don't remember the exact sizes on that, but I mean, it's about an inch by half an inch by 4 feet. That was roughly the original dimensions. So here's the plan. So as I think I already mentioned, I have 2 different sizes of these. This one's about 6 inches. This one's about 5.5. So I'm gonna have it like that. I'm gonna have this one like that. And we're gonna copy that, flip that over. I will have to cut a little bit off there. A little bit annoying, but it's whatever. So all in all, the finished design is gonna be about 6 inches by 6 inches. A gargantuan 6 inches. That one's about 1 foot by 1 foot. So I'm kind of half scaling this. So let's hope everything goes well. Alright, so here I am about to cut that base piece. As you can see, I divided it in half. That's what I'm going to be using to cut it. It's just a regular saw. I'm going to get that all wound up. And it goes pretty cleanly through it. There's not too much resistance at all. Boom, just like that, it's done. That's the cut. Not the cleanest, but... So now I have 2 roughly 6 by 6 squares. I'm going to save one of those for later. Now I have this. Now I need to decide how tall I want it to be. And in order to figure that out, we're going to use these. So these are what fell on the floor earlier. So how tall do I want this to be? I don't want it to be too tall because, well, that's just based. I don't want it to be too short because then that's not useful. This is a 6 by 6 thing, and I only have this many things. Hold up, give me a second, let me count them. I only have 12 of these, and I don't really want to cut anymore. So 12 divided by 3 is 4, which means either A, I stack 3 of these on top of each other like this. This is my plan because I don't really want to have spaces in a pencil holder, so I'm going to stack them right one on top of the other. 3 seems like a good height, but I could have 4. Never mind, we're doing 3 because I just realized what my math actually meant. So if you have 12 things and you divide that by 3, that's saying that I have 12 of these doodads, but if I split them up 3 ways, I have 4 sides. There's 4 sides on the square, which means each side of the square would have 3 of these. That's what we're going to go with because I'm hopeful that my math is right. Most likely isn't, but I'm not an engineer yet, so we're not going to worry about how my math is right now. Now that we know how tall it's going to be, now I can stack 3 of those on top of each other, measure it, and cut that height out of this. So let's do that. Now, I don't have a tripod or selfie stick or anything like that, so I'm only a one-hand man right now. I'm only a 1.5 man right now. Hand man, just, you know what I'm saying. This is gonna be a little bit difficult. So we're just gonna get 3 of these, slide them together, and slide that to the edge as close as possible. And I'm gonna draw my line right there. And it's done. Now we have a line. That's roughly how tall it's going to be. I'm probably also going to size this down a bit because this is a bit big for a pencil holder and that's a bit short for a pencil holder. I mean, look at this thing comparatively. It's actually a really good height, never mind. And keep in mind, this is going to be stacked on that. So notice how at the bottom of this box, it's flush with the bottom, even though there's a board there. That's because the board is underneath like that. So those are nailed in, and then these start on the bottom of the board and get nailed in that way. So same concept, same idea. Let me go ahead and measure this on those, and I'll explain why in a second. And it's done. So some of you may be asking why I'm measuring it on 4 different planks instead of just the one. Like, wouldn't it be so much more cost effective and smart to just buy one of these and cut all 4 legs out of the same one? Well, it goes back to the reason why I stained this after I put it together. The reason why I did this is because rather than cutting it one at a time and having differences in all of them, this way I can just have one cut and cut all of them. It's time effective, it keeps the lengths the same on all 4 roughly. So like I said, this isn't going to be the only box I'm making, and this isn't going to be my last. So having this the same length means that all my boxes have the same amount of wood to be used. So that's why I'm doing this. It doesn't really matter which way you do it. It just depends on how you want to do it. This is the way I'm doing it. This is the way that works for me. And I don't know if I said that I was going to come back to this or not, but the reason why I stained this after I put it together is for a multitude of reasons. One, I didn't really know how to stain, so it was just kind of throw it on there and hope for the best. 2, notice how on the nail holes there's this nice rustic pattern on it. That little hole there has more stain in it, emphasizing the nails. Plus, the nails themselves are a little bit muddied up. I like that look in general. It's more rustic, and you know, it looks nice to me. Plus, doing it like this saves on stain, because rather than staining the entirety of every single piece, I just stain most of it and I leave the other ones blank, which it doesn't really save that much stain, but it saves more than if you just stained everything all at once at the same time. And I'm going to use that same logic on this. Maybe because, you know, I'm working in a smaller space, harder to get to all the nooks and crannies. In this, it's easy to just do whatever you want inside of it. In this, I have big hands, and a lot of the space is going to be taken up, especially if and when I make this bottom part smaller. But we'll cross that road when we get there, once all the pieces are cut down and shaped. Alright, so right here I'm just lining up all of those boards on that line that I drew, getting them prepped to be cut. Step takes a minute. There's the all clear. I'm going to hold it as best I can so they don't move, and then I'm going to use the same saw from earlier and try to cut along that line. Just going through there. These go about the same as the MDF, but a little bit different. And then I started having some issues. I don't know why, but I think this look on my face says it all. So I don't know exactly what went wrong while cutting these, but something happened. But either way, I now have 4 roughly the same sized pegs. So those are going to make up the corners where we put those onto. Now I think I am going to cut this down a little bit. Just to make more sense. So let me do that real quick. And it's done. It is actually, it is considerably smaller than it once was, and it is now a rectangle. Now, you may be wondering why this is. Well, A, it's because it's a pencil holder, and pencil holders shouldn't be that big. Plus, B, once we have these two walls up, the size that you have to actually put stuff in gets a lot smaller. So it's basically a square now. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to sand these down, just lightly sand them down around, smooth them out a little bit. I'll do a final sanding later, but I'm going to sand them down a bit, and then I'm going to tell you what we're going to do after that. So, I just got done sanding all four of those down a little bit. Just got covered in a bunch of dust. Now, how are we actually going to put all of this together? I have an idea for that. And it's called a nail gun. So this is just a regular brad nailer. It uses little tiny little nails. Hopefully I don't get to the big ones because this isn't a lot of space to work with. I don't want to use the little ones. But if it comes to that, it's not the end of the world. So yeah, we're going to use this to put that stuff in. And I'm going to do it the same way I did that because that looks really good and I'm happy with how it came out. Sue me. So this is usually a part where I'm cutting stuff or doing stuff. But I'm actually going to talk during this part because this isn't too terribly loud. So basically, all I'm going to do is get this, lay it on top of this, and hope everything works out. Is this sketchy? Yes. Should you try this at home? Not really. I mean, don't, unless of course you're like a carpenter or you do this for hobbies, or you're pretty experienced. Don't do any of this without at least supervision. Because this thing will take your fingers off. This thing is actually pretty safe. If you're stupid, this thing will put a nail through your finger. So just try to be safe. Don't really do this at home unless you have supervision or prior experience. I have been doing stuff like this for a few years. I'm a novice. I'm a novice when it comes to woodworking, but I have done it before, and if that box is anything to go off by, I don't think I'm that bad. But just throwing it out there, don't do this unless you know what you're doing. And even then, take proper precautions. Okay, wear gloves. Wear glasses. I'm not wearing any, but I should be. Don't be stupid. And like with sanding and stuff, wear a respirator in some cases as well, because it creates a lot of dust. Anyway, I'm going to start giving you the safety speech because, well, that's not what you 4 people are here for. So yeah, I'm just going to line the corners up as best I can. Again, this is not safe. There are better ways to do this, but this is the way I'm doing it. So I just tack one nail in there, and because it's only one nail, I can still slide it around to make sure the other side is lined up. That's 2. And one more for good measure. And boom, that's it. Now you have a little table thingy. So now we're just going to do that 3 more times. Alright, so now we have a nice little table. But that's not why you guys clicked on the video. You guys are here for a box, not a crappy little table, and this is just the beginning. But yeah, it's the same process that I did for all three. Unsafely put your thumb on the thing, put one in the corner, line it up, put in that one, and then one in the middle just for safety. Then we have this. Sweet. Where did those come in? Well, they come in right now. Bap. So because I cut this down, we're gonna go back to when I made that actually. So I'm gonna sand down the edges, make them flush and flat and straight, just like that. And then what I'm gonna do is lay them on here, line them up with the bottom as best as possible. You know, make sure that corner is lined up, at least the flattest one that I have. You know, make sure everything's cool and straight. Make sure to hold it down. Put one there, realign it, put one there, put one in the middle, put one, boom, boom, boom. That one's done. Do some of the other ones and then cut off the excess. And then we're gonna do that all around on the bottom. And then it's just rinse and repeat. Stack, line up, boom, 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 all around, cut, measure, do that, then boom, boom. Then put the final one, boom, 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 boom. Sand or cut down the top. Well, sand and cut down the top. Make sure everything looks good, and then we go into the final step. Time has passed, as you can tell by the amount of sawdust on my leg. So, I now have 12 sanded sticks. Now, it's the same process that we did with these, just a little different. So we're going to line up the corner with the corner here. So you see, just like that. We're going to line them up together at the edge. We're going to steal the battery from our sander, put it in our nailer, and then just boom. And then we're gonna have technical difficulties because of course we are. Then we're going to fix our technical difficulties and move on. And there we have it. One thing right there. Now, to sand these down was very simple. Some of them I did have to take this to because they had some overhanging bits that were a bit too thick to sand. So I cut those off. Then I got this handy dandy sander. I just went boom, 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 boom. Sand to the top and the bottom, and then I went around the corners, rounded them out. Do that 12 times, have it feel like you're having needles stabbed in your hand, and then after about 30 minutes you're done. Now if you watch crafting YouTubers like Emily the Engineer or Bobby Duke Arts, or anyone else for that matter, they will tell you sanding takes forever. They are not lying. I recorded the last thing 15, 20, 30 minutes ago. Do these. But that's not the point. The point is, we now have one slat on our thing. So now I'm going to do the rest of the ones on the bottom, and then I'm going to tell you what I did, any like special thing that I did with that, and then it's just rinse and repeat. So I just finished the first layer. Don't pay attention to the shape too much. So yeah, Just boom, 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 boom. Did that all the way around. Again, don't look at the shape too much. So what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to cut off those little nubs so that way it doesn't look like something else. And then we're just going to do that all the way up. And then bing, bang, boom. I'll tell you guys the next steps.
Time has passed. A lot of time has passed. As you probably just noticed, my hair and my shirt have changed, and I'm not wearing anything anymore. It's midnight. Yeah. Anyway, so I made the box. Yeah. So as you can see, this isn't exactly the way that I made the other one, because on the other one, I put one in, cut it, put one in, cut it, put one in, cut it, etc. This one, I put all of them on, like all 12, and then cut all of them. So we got this nice little spirally pattern, and then, you know, this is what I meant by having space in there. It's pretty sturdy, actually. Like, this is a pretty solid box. So yeah, I put all the boards on there. I cut them to roughly the right size. I cut the top to make it flush, and then I sanded everything down so he didn't get any splinters, mostly, and it's nice and smooth. Now, we have this. We have the box. I could just give this to my friend and be like, hey, here's the box that you wanted. But they wanted it stained. The same color as this. So we're going to do that. I didn't really do anything too fancy while cutting this. It's just this thing. It vibrates really fast and it cuts through the wood, and it really helps if you guide it as well. So I just use that to cut them. It's pretty good at doing that. Funny thing, when I was cutting these down, I accidentally cut into these two as well. So it has like exaggerated curve there. That's fine. I don't really care. But, you know, just goes to show I'm not perfect. No one is. We make mistakes. We're humans. It's what we do. But this is what I call boxing. That's a really bad joke. I'm sorry. But yeah. So this is the box. Funny thing, I was blowing this off, just like, you know, like that, and I blew inside of it. I expelled air through my mouth into the wooden box, and then a giant pinch of dust went into my eye, and I just now recovered from that. So that was 2 hours ago. But yeah, so we're gonna stain this. I'm gonna tell you how I'm gonna do it, with what stain I'm gonna use. And I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do a little bit, show you how it's done, and then I'm gonna do the rest of it, and we're gonna do final updates.
So taking you back to the setup, we have some thick paper to stain this on so that we don't get it on the table. This isn't even really a table, it's just a sheet of painted plywood on top of a pool table, but it's whatever. I have gloves so I don't get the stain on my fingers. That one's broken, so we're not going to use that one. Hopefully this one's okay. Don't ask where I got that from. I stole it from the doctor's office. And then we have the stain that I'm going to use. It's a Minwax wood finish English chestnut. As you can see, it's fairly dark stain. Like for really white wood, this still dries really dark. And it even stains the MDF. Like that's stained MDF. That's regular. It just works. But recall when I said that not staining beforehand would be a bad idea? Because I have really big hands. Like, it's gonna be difficult and it's gonna be annoying, but we're gonna get there in the end, so it's okay. Yeah, I got this little paint opener. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. Aha! And here we have a prime example of why you should wear gloves. My fingers are going to be brown for a while. But like that is just getting scraped off of the paint opener. Yeah, I don't have too much. Hey look, it's you guys. Say hi you guys. I don't have too much of this stain left, but it should be enough to finish this. So let me show you how we're going to do this. So if you've never stained before, usually you have two rags. You have one that you dip in the stain, you stain it, and then you have one where you wipe the stain off. So allow me to put my glove on. I work with gloves a lot, so this isn't too bad. Fits like a glove. So you're just gonna get one rag, kind of ball it up how you want. You're gonna dip it into the stain. You don't have to be stingy with it. And then you're just gonna drag across. You really wanna press into it to make sure you get as much of that stain in there as possible. And like I said, I'm only going to do just a little bit for you guys so you know what I'm doing. Now I still have some usable stain on that, but I'm going to set that to the side for now. And then I'm going to get my other rag. I'm gonna kind of fold it into a square, and I'm gonna get this and then just wipe it. The whole point of this rag is to wipe off excess stain. Staining wood is fairly wasteful, but I mean, look at the result. Like this is it when it's wet. Like I just put this on and it still looks fantastic. Like this is the before, this is the after. It really accentuates the grain, makes it look deeper, and it looks really cool. And then I've showed you guys my box so much that I think you guys have memorized what the final product looks like. But yeah, so you're just gonna get your second rag and just wipe off excess stain. And then you're just going to rinse and repeat this process over and over again until you're either A, happy with the result, B, run out of stain, or C, it's done. Yeah, so we're just going to do that to the outside and attempt to do it to the inside. I'll show you guys the outside before I move in. But yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing for the next 10 minutes. Alrighty, so I just, like literally, just finished putting the stain on the outside.
this is how it's looking so far. Like, look at the bottom. And look at the inside. Like, the stain really changes the look of it. And I think it's pretty neat. Already, this is my drying rag. It's crazy. But this one, you can tell that I just dip it in and then just, this I just wipe off. But this is the outside. The outside isn't really going to change too much. It also just really accentuates the fact of like how it's cut, because the ends get really dark. Like, it's that same thing that I was talking about with the nails earlier. They get pooled with stain and they get a little bit messier. So it really just makes it look like an old crate type look. This is why you wear gloves. This right here. This is my hand without gloves. It's getting stained as we speak. But this doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I could put my entire hand in this thing. It wouldn't matter. I'm not going to do that. But this is why you wear gloves when you stain. Because this is going to take like a week to get off. So, but yeah. That's the progress. Staining doesn't take that long. It just takes a while for it to dry. Like, that box, I could pick it up and move it around and hold it after like 10, not even 10 minutes, more like 5. Like, I would do a side, flip it around, do a side, flip around, do a side, flip around, do a side. And by the time I was done with the 4th side, I could like pick up and wave around my first one and my second one. But it takes like 24 hours or more, depending, to really seep into wood and stay there. Something small like this would only take not even a day. It would probably take a bit less than that. I'm still going to leave it for about 24 hours to 100% dry, but note, you might not necessarily have to. Yeah. I don't know how I'm going to do the inside of this, because my hand literally barely fits in this box. But yeah, I'm going to let this sit for a few minutes just to get it mostly dried up, so I can use my other hand on it without turning that into this. And then I'm going to stain the inside, let that dry, and then, honestly, knowing me, I'm probably going to stain the bottom of my other box, because the bottom of my other one isn't stained. So I'm probably going to stain that, and then come back and stain the bottom of this, and then show you how that's going. So, you know how I said we'll cross that bridge when we get here? Yeah, this was the bridge from hell. This sucked. It's my fault. Mainly because I made the dang thing. But yeah, this thing sucked. Because look at this hand. Look at that. I had to jab it in there. And this one is getting browner by the second. But results. That little white spot down there, that's a hole. I didn't make this perfect, but it's fine. I couldn't dry out all of it, so there are still like little pools of it in corners and stuff, but that's fine, that'll dry out. And I went ahead and stained the bottom of this. And I'm going to show you that, because this is what it used to look like, minus the giant splotches, just bright. And I'm going to try not to get my phone covered in stain as I do this. This is what it looks like now. So stained, the edges now look like that, and the bottom is darker. So you can really compare the two colors in there now.
And then closer look on the inside there. That's a nail that got hit by another nail that then knocked through wood. There was another one right there, but I cut that one out. And I can't reach that one, so I'm not gonna worry about it. Yeah, that's progress on that. So yeah. I'm gonna let this dry for like 10 minutes. And then I'll probably come back tomorrow and stain the bottom. Or if I'm impatient, I'll wait 15 minutes, flip it over, stain the bottom, and deal with the consequences. But as of now, that's the plan. Knowing me, I'm gonna wait 15 minutes and then stain the bottom. So I'll see you guys in a second. Alright, so it looks like I just woke up. So that's fun. But I just finished staining the entire thing. So I looked around it, cleaned up any imperfections, like missed spots or splotches or whatever. Just fixed that. I stained the bottom. Man, that's it. We're good. Yeah, there you go. It looks the exact same as that one. Just a little bit more wet because I literally just took my glove off. So yeah. The sides are decently dry now, so I'm just gonna handle it. So yeah. I'm gonna leave it like that to dry all the way. I'm gonna leave that. But that's it. I made a box for my friend because they wanted one. It is now 1 o'clock in the morning. I started this at 7 or 8. All in all, actual working time, it only took 2 or 3 hours of like actually doing something. And even then, that's a stretch. Because there was recording. But like if I didn't have to record, I could have gotten this done in like an hour or two, maybe. But you know, content. My hands are brown. But content. I haven't posted in a while. 2026 started like half a month ago, and I've only posted 2 videos up until now. But that's it, man. So yeah, let me know if you guys want a more detailed tutorial about what I did. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. If you have any requests for future videos, leave them in the comments. But that's it for me. I have a few other projects that I'm going to be starting here soon, pretty soon. So I'll probably make videos out of those too. But until then, that's about all I got. So like if you want, subscribe if you want. It really helps. Well, it helps me out, I guess. Don't if you don't. I'm not gonna make you do anything. But if you want to, it's literally just a click of a button. Doesn't really matter. You can forget that I exist after you do it, but it's still greatly appreciated. And yeah, that's all for me. Have a good day. Okay, so quick side note, I just got done washing my hands for like 5 minutes. They're still brown. Like they're still brown.